Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're going to explore how to unlock enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365. Our focus will be on overcoming challenges like data fragmentation and export limits, so you can gain comprehensive insights. Over the next few slides, we'll cover strategies and solutions to help you harness the full power of your data. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the analytics challenge within Office 365. As many of you know, these constraints can significantly impact how organizations access and interpret their data. For starters, the limitations in Office 365 analytics often leave organizations locked out of gaining true insights. This means they struggle to make fully informed business decisions because the data simply isn't complete or detailed enough. Another issue we see is fragmented dashboards. These scattered views make it difficult to assemble a comprehensive picture of what's really happening across the enterprise. Without a unified view, gaining true enterprise-scale insights becomes a real challenge. Missing data fields are also a common problem. When essential information is absent, it hampers the ability to analyze and act on data effectively. This further limits decision-making capabilities. And then there's the issue of export limits. Many teams want to extract data for deeper analysis, but these limits often restrict how much they can export at once. As a result, the data they do get can be partial or misleading, which risks drawing incorrect conclusions. All of these constraints highlight why unlocking enterprise-scale analytics in Office 365 is so important. Improving this can truly transform how organizations leverage their data for smarter, faster decisions. Let's talk about the reality of partial insights. As we try to unlock enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365, we encounter a significant challenge: partial insights. These incomplete perspectives can actually increase operational risks, particularly in areas like security, compliance, and productivity. When decision-makers don't have a full picture, their confidence in the decisions they make naturally diminishes. Now, this problem isn't just about missing data. It impacts key domains across the organization. Leadership teams are often forced to make critical decisions with only partial visibility, and that's a risky position to be in. It's a bit like trying to navigate through dense fog with just one headlight. You're limited in what you can see, which makes your journey more uncertain and dangerous. One of the core issues here is limited audit logs. When these logs don't capture enough detailed information, the insights we gain are shallow at best. This creates blind spots, areas where we lack understanding of operational or security issues that could escalate if left unaddressed. Similarly, when we export data for dashboards, incomplete exports mean we're only seeing a partial view of the situation. This hampers our ability to make fully informed decisions because we're missing critical pieces of the puzzle. In essence, partial insights and incomplete data exports pose serious challenges that undermine our confidence and effectiveness in managing security, compliance, and overall operations. It's a reminder that the quality and completeness of our data directly impact our ability to lead confidently and act decisively. When we look at the user perspective, one of the biggest frustrations is dealing with incomplete data. These challenges can really delay audits and make it harder to see the full picture of user activity and security events. This means that when we're trying to understand what's happening, we might not have all the information we need, which can impact our ability to respond quickly and accurately. Inconsistent data only adds to this problem. It complicates analysis and auditing because you're constantly trying to piece together information that doesn't always match or line up properly. And then there are undocumented fields, additional data points that aren't clearly defined or tracked, making the audit process even more complex. On top of that, auditors often have to manage multiple fragmented CSV files. It's like trying to put together a puzzle with pieces scattered everywhere. This fragmentation makes it harder to get a clear, cohesive view of activity. Finally, analysts and compliance officers face technical hurdles like throttling, export limits, and incomplete logs. These restrictions can slow down investigations and leave gaps in the data, making it tougher to ensure security and compliance. Overall, these issues highlight the need for better tools and processes to unlock the full potential of enterprise-scale analytics in Office 365. Let's take a closer look at some of the typical workarounds organizations use to manage analytics in Office 365 and the pitfalls they come with. These solutions often become a patchwork, pieced together from different tools and methods, which can lead to increased maintenance efforts. Over time, this complexity can cause data to become stale or inaccurate, undermining the very insights you're trying to gain. One major issue is maintenance overhead. These workarounds tend to break whenever there's a system update or an upgrade, which is quite common. That means IT teams have to constantly troubleshoot and fix these solutions, causing disruptions and consuming valuable resources. Another challenge is that these methods are usually short-term fixes. They might work temporarily, but they're slow and often unreliable in the long run. Whether it's using PowerShell scripts, manual exports, or third-party dashboards, these approaches require ongoing effort and aren't scalable for enterprise-level needs. Ultimately, while these workarounds might seem like quick fixes, they often create more problems down the line. That's why it's crucial to look for more robust, sustainable solutions for enterprise analytics. Now, let's take a closer look at the technical barriers that prevent us from scaling enterprise analytics in Office 365. These limitations have a significant impact on our ability to conduct comprehensive analysis across large data sets. One major challenge is data aggregation. Because of inconsistent schemas and the complexities of pagination, aggregating data becomes quite fragile and prone to errors. Another hurdle is handling bulk data requests. When we try to pull large volumes of data at once, we often run into throttling and timeout issues, which can really slow down or even halt our analysis efforts. It's also important to understand that the APIs and export features provided by Office 365 were primarily designed for basic troubleshooting, not for enterprise-scale analytics. They weren't built to handle the massive, complex data operations we need today, which is a critical point to keep in mind as we look for solutions to unlock more scalable analytics. Let's take a closer look at the consequences of incomplete Office 365 data. When data is fractured or incomplete, teams end up spending countless hours cleaning and reconciling datasets. This is time-consuming and diverts their attention away from more strategic initiatives that could drive real value for the organization. Now, this kind of resource drain doesn't just affect it also impacts the broader business. When data isn't reliable, projects can stall or face delays because decision-makers don't have the accurate information they need to move forward confidently. Furthermore, incomplete data creates significant compliance challenges. Gaps in audit trails can undermine efforts to meet regulatory requirements, risking penalties or legal issues down the line. And from a security perspective, partial data means less visibility into what's happening across the environment. This increases the risk of undetected breaches, leaving the organization vulnerable to threats that could otherwise be mitigated with comprehensive data. So, overall, incomplete Office 365 data hampers efficiency, jeopardizes compliance, and heightens security risks, all of which underline the importance of reliable, complete datasets for enterprise-scale analytics. Let's take a closer look at how Office 365 compares to other cloud platforms. Platforms like Salesforce and Google Workspace are really strong when it comes to bulk data exports. They support creating analytics-ready environments, such as data lakes and BigQuery, which means you can enable instant, large-scale data exploration quite easily. These features make them very attractive for organizations that need quick access to vast amounts of data for analysis. However, Office 365, despite its widespread adoption in enterprises, doesn't offer the same seamless bulk data export capabilities. It also doesn't natively support analytics-ready environments, which can be a limitation when trying to perform large-scale data analysis. So, while Office 365 excels in user adoption and everyday productivity, when it comes to enterprise-scale analytics, especially involving large data exports and environment setups. It falls behind compared to specialized cloud platforms like Salesforce and Google Workspace. This distinction is important as we think about how to integrate and leverage these tools for comprehensive enterprise analytics. Let's talk about why traditional methods just don't work when we're dealing with enterprise-scale analytics in Office 365. First, these old-school approaches often lead to stalled exports, meaning data just doesn't get transferred smoothly. They also require repeated manual interventions, which can be time-consuming and prone to errors. And as a result, the data we rely on becomes less reliable. Now, one of the sneaky issues is that scripts often fail silently. That means they stop working without any obvious error message, causing unnoticed disruptions in our workflows. This fragile setup makes it hard to trust the data we're analyzing. Another challenge is that traditional methods require us to refresh credentials frequently. This can disrupt ongoing processes and slows down the entire workflow. Managing pagination tokens is another headache. These tokens help us navigate through large datasets, but they quickly become complex and error-prone as data volume grows. Finally, these old approaches simply aren't scalable. When dealing with large data volumes, they tend to break down, leading to inefficiencies and delays, exactly what we want to avoid in enterprise analytics. Let's talk about the true costs of patchwork data solutions. When organizations rely on manual, disconnected methods, the impact goes beyond just technical issues. It affects the bottom line. Lost productivity and missed business opportunities are ultimately the biggest costs we face. As we look at the cumulative cost to the business, it's clear that manual efforts often lead to reporting delays. These delays mean that insights become outdated by the time they're actually used, which can hinder decision-making and agility. A lot of time is spent on mundane tasks like mapping columns, cleansing data, and reconciling different formats. These manual processes are not only time-consuming, but also prone to errors, which can further compromise data quality. And then there's the challenge of fragmented exports and inconsistent data schemas. Teams often struggle to piece together data from various sources, which creates additional complexity and slows down the entire analytics process. All of these issues highlight why a more integrated, enterprise-scale approach, like what we're discussing today, is crucial for unlocking the full potential of Office 365 analytics. Now, let's look at how Graph Data Connect unlocks enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365. This tool truly enables analytics at a scale that meets the needs of large organizations, without the typical headaches associated with data integration. It overcomes traditional limitations by offering a solution that is both scalable and compliant, ensuring you can handle high volumes of data securely. Essentially, it provides a direct, reliable pipeline to move data into your Azure environment seamlessly. What's more, Graph Data Connect is a managed pipeline, meaning it's designed to securely extract large amounts of Office 365 data without compromising on security or compliance. This approach represents a new way of thinking about enterprise analytics, making it easier, more secure, and more scalable than ever before. Now, let's take a closer look at how the Graph Data Connect works to unlock enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365. This architecture is designed to ensure that your data management is secure, scalable, and compliant with your organizational policies. One of the key aspects here is control, making sure that data flows smoothly without unnecessary detours. This means data moves directly from your Office 365 environment into your Azure tenant, without passing through third-party services that could introduce delays or security concerns. You'll see that this direct flow includes mailbox activity, Teams events, SharePoint access, and more, providing a comprehensive view of your organizational data. To make this possible, we integrate Microsoft Graph with Azure Data Factory, creating a robust, high-throughput pipeline. This setup not only maintains security, but also allows for scalable, efficient data processing. Overall, This architecture empowers you to perform enterprise-level analytics while keeping control and compliance at the forefront. Let's talk about security and compliance by design. On this slide, we're focusing on how these principles enable us to unlock enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365. First, security and compliance teams can gain greater confidence in governance and audit readiness. This means that by designing with security in mind from the start, we're making it easier to demonstrate compliance and ensure our data is well managed. Next, the key idea here is risk elimination by design. When we build these systems properly, we remove the risks associated with unauthorized access or potential data leakage. It's about proactively addressing vulnerabilities before they become issues. Moving on, permissions are aligned with Azure RBAC controls. This is crucial because it ensures that data stays within organizational boundaries, maintaining control over who can access what. It's a way of enforcing strict access policies and avoiding accidental exposure. Finally, Graph Data Connect enforces strict data residency and compliance policies. This guarantees that data remains within specified geographic locations and adheres to regulatory requirements, which is essential for maintaining trust and compliance at an enterprise level. Altogether, these design principles help us achieve a secure, compliant, and scalable analytics environment, integral to our broader strategy of empowering enterprise insights responsibly. Now, let's look at how these benefits really empower security teams. By shifting from reactive firefighting to strategic risk management, we're aligning our security efforts with current policies and real-time data. This means we're not just responding to threats after they happen, but proactively managing risks before they escalate. This shift enables us to detect and investigate threats more effectively, with full timelines that give us a clear picture of what's happening and when. It's about being one step ahead, rather than always catching up. And importantly, security teams now have continuous, comprehensive access to months of critical data, such as sign-in logs, mailbox activity, and audit trails. This level of access allows for deeper insights and faster response times, ultimately strengthening our overall security posture. All of these points tie back to our goal of making security smarter, more strategic, and more aligned with the needs of today's enterprise environment. Now, let's talk about the benefits this brings to compliance teams. When we have full visibility into user activities and access changes, it really boosts governance across the organization. This means organizations can confidently demonstrate that they are meeting regulatory requirements without the usual stress or guesswork. Having continuous access to data is a game changer because it allows compliance officers to spot policy violations early on. Catching issues sooner helps reduce the risk of costly audits and potential penalties. Overall, these capabilities not only strengthen our governance, but also make regulatory adherence much more manageable and reliable. This is all about empowering compliance teams to work smarter and with greater confidence. Now, let's look at how we can accelerate insights that truly drive business value. The goal here is to enable faster, more effective decision-making by integrating analytics seamlessly into our workflows. This means we can get insights without getting bogged down by complex data wrangling, which often slows us down. With solutions like Graph Data Connect, we're providing structured, versioned data that's optimized specifically for big data tools such as Synapse, Databricks, and Power BI. This ensures that the data is readily accessible and ready to be analyzed, helping us unlock advanced analytics and business intelligence more efficiently. Ultimately, the key takeaway is that by streamlining these processes and integrating data seamlessly, we empower your teams to uncover insights faster and make smarter, data-driven decisions that add real business value. Now, let's talk about how real-time insights can truly drive action within your organization. When we unlock enterprise-scale analytics in Office 365, we gain powerful visibility into what's happening across your environment. This enhanced visibility is crucial because it allows us to strengthen your security posture by providing actionable intelligence. Essentially, we're not just collecting data. We're turning it into insights that can inform immediate decisions and responses. This improved security posture supports timely interventions, helping you address issues before they escalate, and it also boosts operational efficiency by reducing unnecessary disruptions. The fresh, granular activity data we gather empowers organizations to spot collaboration bottlenecks, identify productivity trends, and uncover security risks, all in near real time. In other words, this data doesn't just tell you what's happening. It equips you to act swiftly and effectively, making your organization more secure, more efficient, and more responsive in today's fast-paced digital landscape. Now, let's take a closer look at how we unlocked enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365 to improve collaboration. The changes we implemented resulted in real, measurable efficiency gains and smoother project delivery across our stores. These improvements came from making adjustments to workflows and scheduling, all driven by the data insights we gathered. By analyzing how teams were working, we identified areas where we could optimize processes. Our analysis uncovered some common challenges, things like silos forming between departments, meeting overload, and bottlenecks in file access. Recognizing these issues was crucial to addressing them effectively. To tackle these challenges, a retail chain used Graph Data Connect to analyze usage patterns across Teams and SharePoint. This allowed them to see where collaboration was breaking down and where improvements could be made. Overall, this case shows how leveraging data-driven insights can transform collaboration, making workflows more efficient and aligning teams better. Key themes we've been exploring throughout this presentation. Now, let's look at how making informed decisions can really help us optimize our resources and ultimately drive our organization's success. When leaders have access to the right analytics, they can see the bigger picture and make smarter choices. For example, by tracking cross-functional trends, executives can identify patterns of engagement across different teams or departments. This insight allows us to allocate resources more effectively, ensuring that we're supporting areas that need it most. And it's not just about data for data's sake. When we have access to comprehensive collaboration data, it transforms our leadership discussions. Instead of making guesses or relying on intuition, we can base our strategies on solid evidence. This shift from guesswork to evidence-based decision-making truly empowers us to lead more confidently and achieve better outcomes. It's all about turning information into action, and that's at the heart of unlocking enterprise-scale analytics within Office 365. Let's talk about unlocking enterprise-scale analytics in Office 365. One of the key shifts we're making is moving from reactive to proactive security. Instead of waiting for an incident to happen and then responding, this proactive approach helps us identify and address risks early on. By doing so, we can significantly reduce incident response times and prevent issues from escalating. This shift changes our focus from firefighting to strategic risk mitigation, which is much more effective in the long run. Strategic risk mitigation involves continuous access to sign-in logs and mailbox activities. Having this constant visibility allows security teams to detect emerging risks as soon as they happen. And that's the essence of proactive risk detection, staying ahead of threats before they cause real damage. This approach aligns perfectly with our goal of creating a more secure and resilient organization through better data insights and timely action. Now, let's talk about how data-driven insights can really help us make targeted improvements that boost workforce effectiveness. By analyzing the data, we can identify exactly what's working well and where there might be digital friction that's holding us back. This means we can see which collaboration channels, like Teams or SharePoint, are actually driving progress and engaging employees. Understanding these drivers allows us to refine our tools and processes, making collaboration more efficient and effective. Most importantly, organizations can use these insights to optimize their hybrid work models. When we analyze usage patterns, we gain a clearer picture of how employees are engaging with different platforms and how that correlates with productivity. Ultimately, this approach helps us create a more seamless and productive hybrid work environment, aligning our digital tools with the needs of our teams and the goals of the organization. Let's talk about how we can elevate compliance through ongoing monitoring. By leveraging continuous oversight, we significantly reduce the risk of missing violations, which is crucial in maintaining regulatory adherence. This approach supports confident decision-making, especially in high-stakes sectors like legal and finance, where every action counts. Faster decision-making in these environments is vital, and with secure, direct data flows into your Azure tenant, compliance officers gain immediate access to a complete timeline of events. This means no gaps, no export limits, just a seamless, real-time view of what's happening. Using Graph Data Connect, we ensure that data remains secure and comprehensive. Logs are maintained over months, not just days, supporting thorough and timely audits. This readiness is essential for staying compliant and prepared for any inquiries or checks. Furthermore, this proactive approach allows security and compliance teams to act before incidents occur. Instead of reacting to violations after they happen, we shift towards prevention, which is much more effective. By transforming risk management into a continuous process, organizations gain ongoing visibility into user activities, permission changes, and policy adherence across Office 365. This real-time compliance tracking empowers teams to manage risk proactively, keeping your organization safe and compliant at all times. These analytics tools truly empower businesses to go beyond just guessing or intuition. Instead, they allow organizations to transform raw data into actionable insights, which can lead to real financial and operational benefits. When we talk about turning data into insights, it means leadership can see risk metrics clearly at the executive level. This visibility enables them to respond quickly to emerging threats or compliance issues, rather than reacting too late. For example, a global firm used consolidated data from Teams and SharePoint to improve their hybrid work strategy. By analyzing this data, they identified low-value meetings and found unused software licenses, which they then eliminated. This led to significant cost savings and a more efficient work environment. Similarly, usage data can help teams spot collaboration bottlenecks, optimize workflows, and reduce digital friction. This not only speeds up project completion, but also boosts employee engagement, making work more productive and satisfying. Organizations that leverage Graph Data Connect have reported measurable improvements across the board, whether it's productivity, risk management, or cost efficiency. Ultimately, these tools help us unlock the true potential of enterprise-scale analytics, making our organizations smarter, more responsive, and more efficient. When we move from data chaos to strategic clarity, the goal is to get a much clearer and more accurate picture of what's really happening within the organization. This visibility supports making timely, informed business moves that can really make a difference. Instead of spending endless weeks just cleaning and preparing data, analysts can now focus on digging deeper into the insights and making strategic decisions. This shift to strategic analysis means that teams are no longer bogged down by the technicalities of data collection. Instead, they can leverage a unified dataset that speeds up the journey from raw data to actionable intelligence. With this approach, it's much easier to quickly identify collaboration patterns, security risks, and productivity trends, things that are vital for making informed decisions. One of the key enablers here is Graph Data Connect. It delivers structured, versioned data directly into powerful Azure services like Synapse and Databricks. This process removes the need for complex scripting and data wrangling, simplifying the entire workflow. And speaking of workflows, consolidating data pipelines helps eliminate manual, error-prone processes. Instead of stitching together fragmented exports from multiple Office 365 sources, we now have an integrated pipeline that makes the process more reliable and efficient. All of this together accelerates the journey from raw data to meaningful insights, empowering teams to act swiftly and confidently. Building a data-driven culture is about creating a cycle of continuous improvement and innovation that aligns perfectly with broader digital transformation goals. When we leverage data effectively, it encourages teams to see the tangible impact of their decisions, which in turn makes them more engaged and proactive. This kind of engagement is crucial because it fuels ongoing innovation across the organization. By fostering transparency, we create an environment where insights lead directly to action, whether that's optimizing workflows, strengthening security, or refining compliance policies. When everyone has access to consistent, current, and reliable data, decision makers, whether they're business leaders, IT professionals, or security teams, can make well-informed choices based on facts rather than assumptions. And of course, easy access to collaboration analytics empowers teams at all levels to innovate and continuously improve. This approach not only supports a culture of ongoing growth, but also ensures that our digital transformation efforts are sustainable and impactful. Ultimately, it's about building a mindset where data fuels progress and helps us reach our organizational goals more effectively. Let's talk about how to get started with Graph Data Connect. The key here is to focus on datasets that are most relevant to your business goals. You don't need to try to connect everything at once. Start small with the key datasets that can deliver immediate value. Then, as you build confidence, gradually expand your coverage. This approach helps you see tangible results early and keeps the project manageable. A crucial part of this process is leveraging Microsoft's managed pipeline. Using managed pipelines allows for data versioning and schema consistency, which means your data stays organized and reliable over time. Plus, it significantly reduces the maintenance overhead, freeing up your team to focus on insights rather than infrastructure. Next, connecting your data to analytics platforms like Power BI, Synapse, or Databricks is essential. This enables you to visualize your data easily and perform advanced analysis to uncover deeper insights. It's all about turning raw data into actionable intelligence. You can also integrate various Office 365 data sources, mailbox activity, Teams events, SharePoint access, and connect them seamlessly using Azure Data Factory pipelines. This ensures your data flows smoothly across platforms, giving you a comprehensive view of your enterprise activities. Finally, setting up permissions and compliance within your Azure tenant is vital. You need to ensure secure data flow at every step, especially when dealing with enterprise-scale analytics. Proper configuration safeguards your data and ensures you stay compliant with organizational and regulatory standards. Together, these steps form a solid foundation for unlocking the full potential of your Office 365 data through Graph Data Connect. Now, moving on to overcoming organizational barriers, it's important to recognize that adopting enterprise-scale analytics isn't just a technical challenge. Often, the biggest hurdles are related to change management, ensuring that everyone's aligned with business goals and fostering collaboration across teams. To truly succeed, we need to provide ongoing support and celebrate early wins. This helps build momentum and keeps everyone motivated. Embedding analytics into daily workflows makes it more natural and accessible for users, encouraging regular use. Another critical aspect is encouraging collaboration between security, and business units. Breaking down silos allows for shared ownership of data-driven insights, which enhances trust and innovation across the organization. Addressing data privacy and security is also key. Clear communication about how Graph Data Connect operates within your compliance boundaries and leveraging Azure RBAC controls reassures stakeholders that data remains secure. Aligning analytics initiatives with your overall business goals ensures that what you're doing is relevant and garners support from leadership. When analytics directly support strategic objectives, it's easier to get buy-in and sustain momentum. Finally, let's not forget that change management is essential. Teams need proper training and support to trust and effectively utilize these new data sources. When we manage change well, we set the stage for successful adoption and long-term value from enterprise-scale analytics. These advancements are really about empowering organizations to do more with their data. They will be able to better anticipate risks, optimize how teams collaborate, and foster innovation at a much larger scale. The key idea here is transforming data from a technical challenge into a strategic asset that drives decision-making and growth. When we talk about empowering organizational innovation, one of the crucial points is cross-platform data fusion. By integrating Office 365 with other enterprise systems, organizations gain a more comprehensive view of their overall health and performance. This holistic perspective allows for smarter, more informed decisions. Another exciting development is the integration of AI and machine learning tools. These technologies will enable predictive insights, so organizations can forecast trends and automate anomaly detection, helping teams catch issues early before they become bigger problems. We also expect broader coverage of Microsoft 365 workloads, meaning more data sources and richer metadata will be accessible. Plus, real-time streaming options will be enhanced, allowing for faster, more dynamic data analysis. Finally, the capabilities of enterprise analytics within Office 365 will continue to evolve. We're looking at expanded data sources and deeper integrations, which will unlock even more insights. All of these developments point to a future where enterprise data insights are more powerful, more accessible, and more integral to strategic success. As we come to the final slide, I want to emphasize the overall message. With these steps, your organization can truly transform raw data into valuable, actionable intelligence that drives real business results. The key is starting with clearly defined questions, knowing what you want to learn and achieve. Engaging stakeholders across different teams ensures everyone is aligned and contributing their insights. Leveraging Microsoft's managed services helps simplify the complexity involved in managing data at scale. Moving forward, setting up secure and reliable data pipelines is essential. These pipelines ensure your data flows safely and efficiently into your analytics tools. Speaking of tools, integrating with familiar analytics platforms makes it easier for teams to adopt and use insights effectively. And fostering a data-driven culture, where data is seen as a core asset, helps your organization make smarter, faster decisions. From a visibility standpoint, Office 365 offers comprehensive insights into collaboration, security, and compliance. This allows you to proactively manage risks and maintain strategic clarity. Finally, by moving beyond fragmented insights and adopting scalable, enterprise-grade analytics with solutions like Graph Data Connect, you unlock a new era of data-driven decision-making, more secure, more scalable, and more impactful than ever before.